his group. This is Hugo. I hope you guys can hear me okay. It is very windy right now. Thank you guys for watching. Right now I am reporting live here from the city of Victorville, where a San Bernardino County Sheriff's deputy tragically lost their life in a major crash. It happened on March 17, 2025 here in Victorville. The incident...
Imagine being a deputy, chasing a suspect at over 100 miles per hour, and then, in a split second, everything changes. It's March 17, 2025, in Victorville, California, a city nestled in the high desert, where the streets are about to witness a tragedy no one saw coming. Deputy Hector Cuevas Jr., a dedicated officer, is behind the wheel of his patrol car, locked in a high-stakes pursuit. His target, 22-year-old Ryan Dwayne Turner Jr., a suspect believed to be driving a stolen vehicle. The chase is relentless, with speeds tearing past 100 miles per hour, tires screaming through the streets of Victorville. Turner refuses to stop, pushing the pursuit into dangerous territory. Then, in an instant, it all goes wrong. At the intersection of Seneca and El Evado roads, Deputy Cuevas's patrol car slams into another vehicle. The crash is catastrophic. His car splits in half from the force, and he's pronounced dead at the scene. It's a heartbreaking loss that leaves a community reeling. But what led to this devastating moment? Was it a tragic twist of fate, or could something more have been at play? And who's truly responsible for the death of Deputy Cuevas? As Turner is arrested just moments after the wreckage settles, the answers remain elusive, with an investigation only beginning to unravel the truth. On March 17, 2025, Deputy Hector Cuevas Jr., a dedicated officer with the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department, was on duty when he spotted a vehicle reported as stolen. The driver, 22-year-old Ryan Dwayne Turner Jr., refused to stop, leading Deputy Cuevas on a high-speed pursuit through the streets of Victorville. The chase quickly escalated, with speeds exceeding 100 miles per hour as Turner ran multiple red lights. The pursuit came to a tragic end at the intersection of Seneca and El Evado roads. Deputy Cuevas's patrol car collided with another vehicle before striking a light pole, causing the car to split in half. Deputy Cuevas was pronounced dead at the scene. Turner, who was arrested shortly after the crash, now faces murder charges in connection with Deputy Cuevas's death. Deputy Hector Cuevas Jr. was a man who wore many hats, each one with pride and purpose. At 36 years old, he had spent 6 years as a deputy with the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department, earning the respect of his peers and the trust of the community he swore to protect. To those who worked alongside him, he was a cop's cop, a term reserved for someone who could face any challenge with steady hands and a warm heart. Whether he was taking down a suspect or kneeling to reassure a frightened child, Hector brought dedication and compassion to every moment on the job. But his life stretched far beyond the badge. At home, he was a devoted husband and a father of 2 young children, who lit up his world with their laughter and love. In Rialto, where he lived, Hector was a familiar face to the kids he mentored, often spotted on a football field or sharing a quiet word of encouragement with a young person in need of guidance. His uncle, L.J. Rivera, captured his spirit perfectly when he said, "Putting on that uniform every day was something that just brightened his day." That brightness shone through in everything Hector did, from the way he served his community to the way he cherished his family. He wasn't just an officer. He was a husband, a father, a mentor, and a friend, a man whose kindness and strength touched countless lives. It was 10:58 a.m. on March 17, 2025, in Victorville, California, a sprawling desert city where the horizon stretches endlessly and the roads carve through the arid landscape. Deputies from the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department were cruising on routine patrol when their eyes locked onto a vehicle near Mojave Drive and Amargosa Road, a car that had been flagged as stolen. Behind the wheel sat 22-year-old Ryan Dwayne Turner Jr., a young man with a penchant for trouble. When the deputies flicked on their lights and signaled for him to pull over, Turner didn't hesitate. He made a choice that would ignite chaos. He refused to stop. Instead, he slammed his foot on the gas, peeling away from the deputies and sparking a heart-pounding chase through the streets of Victorville. The pursuit turned into a high-stakes game of cat and mouse in an instant. Turner pushed the stolen car to its limits, the speedometer climbing past 100 miles per hour as he tore through the city. He blew through at least 4 red lights, each intersection a blur of danger, tires screeching as he weaved recklessly through traffic. The deputies raced to keep pace, their sirens wailing in a desperate bid to halt the madness. Among them was Deputy Hector Cuevas Jr., a determined officer hurtling down the road to catch the fleeing suspect. But there was something unusual about his pursuit, a detail that would later spark questions. His patrol car had no emergency lights flashing, no sirens blaring. Why was he running silent? That mystery would linger long after the dust settled. The chase roared toward the bustling intersection of Seneca and El Evado roads, a crossroads where everyday life and sudden tragedy were about to collide. Turner, fueled by adrenaline and undeterred by the risks, made a split-second decision to barrel through. At that exact moment, 23-year-old Marceline Demian, a civilian just going about her day, was easing her car into a left turn at the green arrow. She had no warning, no flashing lights or piercing sirens to alert her to the danger hurtling her way. She didn't see Deputy Cuevas's patrol car speeding through the intersection until it was too late. In a heartbeat, their worlds crashed together. The collision was nothing short of catastrophic. Deputy Cuevas's patrol car smashed into Demian's vehicle with bone-rattling force, the impact sending both cars spinning wildly out of control. But the devastation didn't stop there. The patrol car veered off its chaotic path and slammed into a light pole with such ferocity that the vehicle was torn apart, split clean in half. Metal twisted, glass shattered, and debris scattered across the asphalt in a scene of utter ruin. The air grew still as the echoes of the crash faded, leaving behind a wreckage that stunned even the most seasoned officers. Tragically, Deputy Hector Cuevas Jr. was pronounced dead at the scene, his life extinguished in an instant while serving in the line of duty. As for Turner, he kept running, pausing only briefly before ditching the stolen car and bolting on foot. His freedom was short-lived, though he was nabbed by deputies just 2 miles from the wreckage. His reckless flight finally brought to an end. As investigators began to piece together the events leading to the tragic crash that took Deputy Hector Cuevas Jr.'s life, 2 startling developments emerged, casting a new and troubling light on the case. The first revelation sent shockwaves through the department. Deputy Cuevas had not activated his emergency lights or sirens during the high-speed pursuit. This was a critical deviation from standard protocol. Typically, deputies are required to use lights and sirens when racing through city streets, a safeguard designed to alert drivers and pedestrians alike to the presence of an emergency vehicle. But on that fateful morning, Cuevas's patrol car was running silent. But was it a tactical choice, perhaps to avoid tipping off the suspect? Or was there another reason, one that might never be fully understood? Whatever the motive, this decision raised a haunting question. Could the crash have been avoided if those lights had been flashing, if those sirens had been wailing? The second twist came from Marceline Demian, the 23-year-old civilian whose car was struck by Cuevas's patrol vehicle. In a statement that added layers of complexity to the investigation, Demian insisted she neither saw nor heard the deputy's car approaching the intersection. He didn't have the siren on, he didn't have the noise on, nothing, she recalled, her voice tinged with disbelief. because if I'd seen him, I would have stopped." Her words painted a vivid picture. A young woman making a routine left turn at a green arrow, completely unaware of the danger barreling toward her. If Demian couldn't see or hear the patrol car, how could she have known to yield? Her account challenged the initial assumptions about the crash, suggesting that the absence of emergency signals may have been a crucial factor in the collision. These revelations didn't just deepen the mystery, they turned the investigation on its head. The lack of lights and sirens wasn't just a procedural misstep, it was a potential key to understanding why the crash happened at all. And Demian's testimony underscored the human cost of that silence, raising the stakes for investigators tasked with untangling the truth. As the probe continued, these unexpected twists would loom large, demanding answers in a case already steeped in tragedy. As the clock struck 5 o'clock, the interviews began to unfold, casting a spotlight on the chaotic events that had gripped the case. First, we heard from Marceline Demian, a key witness whose voice trembled with the weight of what she had seen, or rather, what she hadn't. She spoke of a moment that lingered in the air, a moment where everything hinged on a sound that never came. Her words were raw and unfiltered. "He didn't have the siren on, he didn't have the noise on, nothing. Because if I seen him, I would have stopped." In that simple statement, she painted a picture of confusion and missed chances, a split second where the absence of a siren might have altered the course of fate. Her voice carried the authenticity of someone caught in the whirlwind of the incident, a real person grappling with the what-ifs that still haunted her. The scene shifted to the courtroom, where the stakes grew even higher. District Attorney Jason Anderson stepped forward, his tone resolute as he addressed the gathered media. His statement cut through the noise of speculation, pointing directly to the heart of the prosecution's argument. None of that would have been relevant or would have occurred if it hadn't been for Mr. Turner's actions in setting it all in motion. His words were a hammer striking stone, deliberate and unyielding, assigning blame with the precision of a legal mind determined to see justice served. There was no hesitation in his delivery, only the weight of conviction that Mr. Turner's choices had ignited a chain of events with consequences too grave to ignore. Together, these voices wove a tapestry of emotion and truth, pulling us into the reality of the case. Marceline Demian's quiet regret clashed with Jason Anderson's firm accusation, each adding a layer of depth to the story unfolding on screen. Accompanied by news clips of their interviews and press conference footage, their statements stood as testaments to the human cost and legal gravity of what had happened. These were not just soundbites, they were echoes of real lives touched by the incident, preserved in time to remind us of its impact. By 6:30, the weight of their words lingered, leaving an indelible mark on the narrative, a stark reminder of how a single moment and a single action could ripple outward with devastating force. Let's delve into the background of Ryan Dwayne Turner Jr., the 22-year-old at the center of this tragic event. Turner's history is marked by a blatant disregard for the law and a penchant for reckless behavior. In 2024, he was convicted for leading the Rialto police on a high-speed chase in a stolen vehicle. The chase was nothing short of perilous, with Turner weaving through traffic at breakneck speeds, endangering countless lives before finally crashing the vehicle. This incident alone should have been a wake-up call, a clear indication of his willingness to put others at risk for his own gain or thrill. Despite the severity of his actions, Turner was sentenced to just 16 months in prison, of which he served a mere 8 months before being released in October 2024. For context, crimes involving high-speed chases and stolen vehicles often carry heavier sentences, especially when they result in crashes. The fact that Turner was back on the streets so quickly raises questions about the effectiveness of the justice system in addressing repeat offenders like him. But what drove Turner to act this way? What motivates someone to repeatedly flee from the police, knowing the risks involved? It's possible that Turner was driven by a thrill-seeking personality, finding excitement in the danger and adrenaline of the chase. Alternatively, he might have had a deep-seated disrespect for authority, viewing the law as something to be defied rather than obeyed. Or perhaps there were underlying issues, such as substance abuse or mental health problems, that contributed to his behavior. While we can't know for sure, it's clear that his actions were part of a disturbing pattern. This brings us to the purpose of examining Turner's background, to understand why he acted as he did and to identify any warning signs that were missed. His prior conviction was a glaring red flag, a clear indicator that he was capable of dangerous behavior. Yet, he was released early, and now we see the consequences of that decision. Were there other signs that were overlooked? Did he exhibit any behaviors while in prison or after his release that suggested he was likely to reoffend? These are questions that need to be answered to prevent similar tragedies in the future. As we discuss Turner's history, we'll be showing his mugshot from his 2024 conviction, a stark reminder of his past crimes. If available, we'll also include footage or photos from the high-speed chase, illustrating the chaos and danger he unleashed on the streets. These visuals serve to underscore the gravity of his actions and the importance of understanding the factors that led to this tragic event. On March 19, 2025, Ryan Dwayne Turner Jr. stood in a San Bernardino County courtroom, facing charges that could change his life forever. The prosecution accused him of second-degree murder, felony evading, and vehicle theft, all tied to the tragic death of Deputy Hector Cuevas Jr. on March 17, 2025. They argued that Turner's reckless high-speed chase showed a complete disregard for life, a carelessness so extreme that it implied malice. The felony evading charge highlighted his attempt to flee, while the vehicle theft marked the start of a deadly chain of events. The trial wasn't just about facts, it was steeped in emotion. Deputy Cuevas's family testified, their voices breaking as they described a man who was a loving husband, a dedicated father, a community cornerstone. His wife's words hit hard, revealing a family broken apart, children left without their dad. These stories demanded justice, urging the court to see the human toll of Turner's choices. As of March 19, 2025, the trial might still be unfolding, with the jury weighing evidence or the case stretching on. If convicted of second-degree murder, Turner could face 15 years to life in prison. The felony evading charge could add up to 10 more years, and vehicle theft might bring another 3. For Cuevas's family, though, no punishment can replace what they lost. Justice feels heavy and incomplete. The defense might counter that this wasn't murder, but a panicked mistake. They could argue the chase's chaos led to split-second calls, not intentional harm. Still, Turner's past recklessness might weaken that claim, showing a pattern of risky behavior. We're left waiting, balancing hope for resolution with the uncertainty of what's next. This trial aims to honor Deputy Cuevas, to give his family some peace. Yet, the road to justice twists and turns, leaving us watching, wondering. As we draw this story to a close, it's impossible not to reflect on the profound lessons it leaves behind. The tragic death of Deputy Hector Cuevas Jr. is more than a single, heartbreaking event. It's a stark reminder of the dangers law enforcement officers face every day. Each time they put on their uniform, they step into a world of uncertainty, where routine moments can turn deadly in an instant. On March 17, 2025, what began as the pursuit of a stolen vehicle ended in a devastating collision that claimed Deputy Cuevas's life. His story, though unique in its pain, is not an isolated one. Statistics show that over 1,000 officers have died in the line of duty in the past decade, many in pursuits or traffic-related incidents. Each loss ripples through families, departments, and communities, leaving a void that can never be filled. This case underscores the urgent need for policies that prioritize the safety of those who protect us, ensuring that their courage is met with the support and safeguards they deserve. High-speed pursuits are among the most perilous duties officers undertake. They demand split-second decisions in chaotic, unpredictable environments, where the line between apprehending a suspect and protecting public safety is razor-thin. In recent years, many departments have re-evaluated their pursuit policies, recognizing that the risks often outweigh the rewards. Some have adopted stricter guidelines, limiting chases to violent offenses, while others have turned to technology, like GPS tracking, to monitor fleeing vehicles without engaging in dangerous pursuits. The tragedy involving Deputy Cuevas brings this debate into sharp focus. His death is a painful reminder that we must continue to push for smarter, safer strategies that reduce the need for high-stakes chases. By doing so, we can prevent unnecessary losses and ensure that officers like Deputy Cuevas are not placed in harm's way without cause. But the case also forces us to confront a deeper, systemic issue. Our justice system sometimes fails to handle repeat offenders effectively. Ryan Dwayne Turner Jr., the man responsible for Deputy Cuevas's death, had a history of reckless behavior. In 2024, he was convicted for leading police on a high-speed chase in a stolen vehicle, yet he served only 8 months of a 16-month sentence. His early release, despite clear warning signs, allowed him to reoffend with catastrophic consequences. This pattern repeats across the country, where repeat offenders often slip through the cracks, enabled by overcrowded prisons, lenient sentencing, or inadequate rehabilitation programs. To prevent future tragedies, we must address these gaps, ensuring that those who pose a clear danger to society are held accountable and given the support they need to break the cycle of crime. Deputy Cuevas's death is a sobering reminder that when the system fails, the cost is measured in lives. Yet, even in the shadow of this loss, Deputy Cuevas's legacy shines brightly. He was more than a badge and a uniform. He was a dedicated public servant, a loving husband, and a proud father. Throughout his career, he embodied the best of law enforcement, earning the respect of his colleagues and the gratitude of his community. Whether patrolling the streets, mentoring young officers, or spending time with his family, his commitment to service was unwavering. In the wake of his death, that legacy lives on through the lives he touched and the example he set. Memorials have been established in his honor, and his name will forever be etched in the hearts of those who knew him. But his loss also serves as a painful reminder of the human cost of such tragedies, a cost borne by families, friends, and entire communities. As we picture memorial photos, footage of a vigil, or a montage of his life and career, we see the depth of his impact and the breadth of the void he leaves behind. As we remember Deputy Cuevas, let us also remember the risks our officers take every day to keep us safe. Their courage and sacrifice are the bedrock of our communities, and we owe them our deepest gratitude. But gratitude alone is not enough. We must also advocate for policies that prioritize their safety, support their families, and ensure that those who threaten their lives are held accountable. Let us honor Deputy Cuevas's memory by working together to create a safer, more just society for all. His life was a testament to service. His death is a call to action. Thank you for joining us in this tribute to a fallen hero.